what is incredible to me is I was just able to sort of verbalize this in my mind recently, that once I came to this, I it helped me understand an incredible pain that I've been feeling, and that all of us have been feeling over the past 2 weeks. All of the killing that took place, and all the savagery and the tragedies, which I'll talk about at a different time, but and I've spoken about it before, but I'm saying, but all the tragedies and everything cause a lot of pain, especially when you're connected to them. I was watching it sort of from the outside, and a few days ago I was looking at a list of people that are the captives, and amongst them I saw two people that I knew. One person that spent many Shabbos in my house. The other, an uncle of somebody somebody who used to live in our community, actually. Um, I don't know if anybody would remember them. You see, they're not just faces, and they're real people, cause a lot of pain. But you know what? There's something that's causing me much more pain. And it's crazy that this is true, but there's something causing me more pain. And that's the reaction of the world. That there are people walking around the world saying words that the Jews are the aggressors, and the genocide. When I hear that word genocide being used to the Jews, with all of the evidence, and I'm sure you've all been looking. I just said something to my congregation on Shabbos. I said, you will, I'm a little predictable in the kinds of themes that I'm going to talk about. I said, there's one thing that I'm not going to talk about, and I'm not going to speak about how bad it is, and that is becoming a news junkie. I'm not going to give you mussar about it. I'm not going to tell you shouldn't do it. And the reason is because I'm completely and totally guilty about it. And I can't tell you can't do it, because I'm not controlling myself. I'm out of control. I can't get enough of, I have these feeds that come in. I would say every 30 seconds, I'm getting another piece of information, and it's just crazy. And thank God I haven't gotten to the place of thinking that I run the world and that it's important for me to know all this. I know that I am meaningless and useless, but all this information, I don't know what it's doing to me, but I do know that what it's doing is that I'm seeing and hearing things that are incredible. I'm hearing people being interviewed, and they're being they're being asked, 1,600 people. By the way, they're saying 1,400, but it's not 1,400. It's going to be 1,600 when we're done. There are 200. I don't need to keep passing on bad things, but there are 200 people that are not yet identified. We're assuming that they are captive. Not all of them are. There are piles of ashes, unfortunately, piles of ashes that they can't identify, and that they're sifting through to find rings and teeth and things, bones that they can identify through DNA. They just yesterday, 2 days ago, they found, unfortunately, a bone of someone, and they put them on the killed list. So that number still grows 3 weeks later, because they're still sifting through and trying to find people. And so the interviewer was saying to this person that 40 beheaded babies and raped women, and the person had the audacity to say, there is no evidence. You're an absolute idiot, because there is evidence that is also to watch. Those, you can't even subject yourself to watching these things. And even I, who have become a junkie, I draw my line. I can't watch those things, and you can see them. You can see the videos are clear of what took place, and the stories are clear of what took place. Somebody yesterday was trying to say that, there's clear evidence that people were killed from friendly fire. What are you, a moron? There was no friendly fire. There was no friends. The army wasn't there. Nobody was there. What's the matter with you? So on some level, and you'll see where all this connects to me in a second. On some level, we're dealing with just morons. And on some level, we're dealing with totally wicked people who have an absolute hatred to the Jews, and that everything that Chazal tell us, that Esav sone es Yaakov, that Esau hates Jacob, and he hated him when he was born, and for 3,500 years, nothing has changed. And we silly people, we liberals, that everybody's good and everybody's okay and you got to love everybody and accept everybody, we have allowed ourselves to be fooled and to lulled into a place to believe that the world doesn't hate us. I didn't say that there aren't individuals that can tolerate us, but at the end of the day, the world hates the Jew. And if we can't wake up now, then we ain't getting up. There was a group of Jews, I think it was in Columbia or NYU.
Cornell.
Say it again.
Cornell.
In Cornell, and they were singing those songs in the hallways, right? And they made a protest. What was their byword was it's not us, not us to, like, they don't speak for us, right? What they're saying is for that, they don't speak for us. What's the matter with you? But then I realized, you know what? Especially by the Jews, but it's true by all of them, that they're not mechaven shmo. They're not understanding the incontrovertible facts that are sitting in front of them. The pictures, the things, they're allowing their own personalities and their own takes on things, they're allowing that to color the things that they see. Wait, I'm not done yet. So we're dealing with people that are just not thinking. They're not thinking through because they don't understand what they're seeing. And it's exactly what wisdom is being described at, what the 47th step of wisdom is, that you have to understand what's in front of you. You can't just read it, learn it, hear it, and then formulate an opinion. You've got to understand it. If it's going to do something to you, you've got to understand it. But then it just went one small step further to me. And that we get frustrated, rightly so, when we look at the nations of the world, when we look at the guy, and we look at the people outside of us, and we say that you're not understanding the truth. You're obscuring and obfuscating the truth. And we have to recognize that all they are being is that they're being human. Because human beings have a tendency to do that. To have the truth sitting right in front of them, and yet somehow looking beyond the truth and saying that it's not compelling. I don't have to. We do that in our own Jewish lives. We have the Torah sitting right in front of us. The Torah tells us what it expects of us. It tells us what it wants us to be and what it wants us to do. And it's sitting right in front of us. It's clear. It's like a video. It's like a first-hand account of what happened at Mount Sinai. It's right there in front of us. And we have the ability to be able to look at it and say, no, not really. It's not what happened. I don't have any evidence. How do I know that? And that's most of our Jewish world does that. And for us to really get a takeaway from what's going on and what we're experiencing, see, just to sit there and be frustrated by it and be in pain by it, it's not enough. Like we said, the fifth explanation of Mechaven Shmo is we have to turn it into something practical in our lives. And when you see people that have become so blind and that have no ability to fully understand what they're seeing, we have to look at that and say, I don't want to fall into that trap. Not in their world, in my world. In other words, in the life that I live, and in the godly life I live, and in the Torah life that I live, I don't want to fall into their trap, which is experiencing but not understanding. And I don't want to be that kind of person. And then all that stuff that we take in, all that news that we're watching, and all this stuff that we're seeing is not just about being a news junkie, but it actually becomes an important lesson for us, an important teaching, an important thing that inspires us, and it turns into something practical in our lives. Okay, that's my thoughts.